KATC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, after a stormy one late this afternoon, early this evening, several inches of rain, a lot of clouded ground, lightning, even some small hail across portions of Acadia and Lafayette as well. Things finally quieting down tomorrow, back to a more typical summer day, then drier air moving in for the weekend. But the major headline probably over the next week to almost 10 days will be Dorian. That's Hurricane Dorian. Dorian finally moving away from the Virgin Islands, barely grazed Puerto Rico, so certainly good news there. But hurricane hunters in the storm today and this evening finding a better defined eye, and Dorian is strengthening. And this is the last good look on radar we're going to see until this system gets close to the U.S. coast. So we're using the San Juan Doppler radar that, by the way, was completely destroyed in Hurricane Maria, was replaced last year, so certainly great news that we have radar in this part of the world. More on Dorian in just a bit. Meanwhile, locally, our weather been very busy indeed, with showers and storms firing up late this afternoon and like waves sloshing together. Some locally very intense downpours, 3 to 4 inches from Baton Rouge down through about the Morgan City area. Got over 2 inches at my house in Lafayette, and nearly 1.8 officially out at the airport as of 4:30 this afternoon. We had a little bit more rain to that, but things finally quieting down, but still some moderate rainfall across portions of Acadia Parish and northern St. Landry Parish, and then over toward Baton Rouge. But generally things quieting down, should be all quiet about after midnight tonight. Things are quieting down quickly of late. You can see those storms firing up during the course of the afternoon. This is associated with a little bit of an upper level disturbance that's pushing on southward ahead of a little bit of a frontal trough that'll get here as we head into Friday and the weekend. That's when we expect at least lower dew points, lower humidity, but it's not going to be much cooler. Meanwhile, we go out into, let's go back because I want to show you what's going on out in the Atlantic basin. First off, tropical depression Erin, 35-mile-per-hour winds, no threat to the U.S., maybe Canadian Maritimes, but will be weakening, and maybe not many more bulletins on this system as it remains disorganized down the road. Now we get into the northeastern Caribbean, and you can see where Dorian is located. Did see a little bit of an eye earlier today, but that has since disappeared. But it's getting its act together. Low shear environment, so this is going to continue to strengthen over relatively warm waters of the north central Caribbean. Right now, Category 1, but up to 85-mile-per-hour sustained winds, moving to the northwest at 13, and the official forecast track makes this a Category 2 as we get into tomorrow evening. And then as we get into Friday, Saturday, a Category 3 more than likely as it approaches the northern Bahamas and then the central Florida coast. Not much of an important change on the forecast track at this point, but this storm has been giving us some surprises. Storm should go generally right over Orlando, weakening to a Category 1. After that, well, it looks pretty obvious it's going to probably get into the northeastern Gulf of Mexico, but right now the tropical models more clustered into the northeastern Gulf versus getting toward the central Gulf of Mexico, which we saw with the European model. I'm going to show you that anyway coming up in just a bit. But here are the steering influences associated with Dorian, and there's going to be an Atlantic ridge that's going to build behind Erin, and that's going to force this storm off to the west. That may also allow for a rapid intensification cycle prior to landfall. Of course, the Euro model a little bit farther to the south, and then we're going to have this ridge of high pressure trough digging down the Great Lakes. But will it create enough weakness, and will there be enough weakness between these ridges? Will this ridge extend back to the west? Then this storm moves more to the west, but right now we think it moves northward thereafter, and then produces a heavy rainfall as it'll be cut off from the jet stream down the line. So here's the European model. We'll take a quick look at this. This is the earlier run today, much farther south on its run. I looked at the 18Z run. It was a little bit farther to the north, but we can't show that to you. But again, could be an eastern Gulf of Mexico system for a while and then making a turn to the north. So we'll have to wait, watch, and see how that one plays out. But not a direct threat to Louisiana at this time. Something that we just have to be aware of through this big holiday week. weekend. So tomorrow, like tonight, you see the showers beginning to diminish, and then tomorrow morning we'll see partly sunny skies. It should be a pretty nice day. Fewer showers and thunder showers in the afternoon. We'll go 30% on your rain chances, then it quiets down, and then we're done with rain chances for the better part of 2 or 3 days, and lower humidity on the way. So showers are ending, 73 the low. That's close to the reading we're at right now. We're at 74, 91, 92 the high tomorrow under partly sunny skies. That chance of an afternoon storm, I'm bringing it down to 30%, and that's on the 10-day forecast here. Temperatures in the lower 90s through the next several days, and then as we get into the weekend, we'll be watching the eastern Gulf of Mexico just in case. But right now, I'm going to play it on the drier side, and tropical moisture staying away from us, and out in the Gulf of Mexico, even tropical moisture that won't be associated with Dorian staying south of us the way it looks right now.
All right, good news for us. Okay. Thanks, Rob.